You was more hyped for the commercials. Yeah, since I got you in here, my dog, my crypto NFT dog. We'll intro it like this. We'll start it off. Well, how did you feel about the commercials?
uh, the Coinbase one was genius. The crypto one, the crypto.com one, I thought was actually kind of creepy until with the whole LeBron thing.
You thought it was
But
creepy.
yeah, just like I don't know, just watching him like talk to like a CGI version of himself. I don't know, it just seemed weird.
You thought
Um,
that boy say he thought it was creepy.
yeah, I don't know, it looked weird to me. That's me though. You know what I'm saying? People love Bron. They'll probably burn me at the stake, hear me talking bad about they
Man, a lot of
they
people hate
basketball.
on.
I know.
Did you
Um,
did you get it though? I mean, I understood what they were saying right off the bat.
yeah. It was him basically elaborating to him like where the future is,
Right,
and you would think like in 2003, the stuff that if any of us went back in that time and you met yourself in the future talking to you, you'd be like, what the hell? Like, you would think it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the idea of ain't no more CDs or MP3 like MP3 players. You know what I'm saying? Everything is streaming, everything is
right.
portable. Cell phones are. Think about the cell phone. If you could remember, like the cell phone you had in 2003 compared to what it is now, like that thing is probably miles ahead. And so that's kind of what they getting at from the dynamic of the crypto space is that back in 2003, you probably would have thought, "Oh, that stuff is crazy." Like that, like get the hell out of here. Like if someone told you 2003, by 2022, you're gonna have digital currency and be buying, JPEGs on the internet for $100,000, you'd be like, "Man, get the hell out of my face." You would probably put me in a tinfoil hat and said I was crazy,
That
right?
boy JPEGs on the internet.
But in reality, you know what I'm saying? If you provided more context and let people know what it was, then other people would probably feel like, man, that's innovative, and they probably would have tried to figure out a way back then to get the ball rolling to get to this point. So I think it was dope. I like the other one too. I forgot what the other, was that. Who's that other one?
Yeah, crypto
FTX. FTX. Yeah,
FTX had the best one up.
yeah. FTX with the what's that dude name? Larry something.
Larry David from
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, FTX had the best one. I
To
think
me,
they
that
both
got the message out the best.
huh?
To me, that they got the message out the best about change. Like change is inevitable,
I
and
know,
even though you
right?
don't like it and you talk crazy about it, it's gonna happen. So
Right. The LeBron one, I felt, and we're gonna get into the Kings talk, man. But this is what we do. As you see at the top, investor dive, man. We got a whole group me, where we talk NFTs, crypto investing. The day we hit on the video, we hit on the video. I think, well, yesterday we hit on the video. The day we had the video again, the option play for up 200%. Inside the group me. So yeah, up top, man, if you want to be a part of the group me, you can see that's the link up top. Click the link, go check out, go follow IOD Squad. We're trying to grow IOD Squad. We just started on Twitter with IOD Squad. Is investor die. Because I realized that we could run and jump fast enough. We run fast enough, we jump high enough. I mean, one thing I realized that we didn't know what to do with even when we got to the promised land, we don't know what to do with money. So I just incorporated into what we're doing. And you can come be on the Discord and watch what we do. So the link is at the top. We're talking about the Super Bowl, and we're gonna get into this just a little bit of Super Bowl talk. Then we're gonna get into a lot of Kane talk. Then try to figure out what the Dolphins doing. Maybe um, supposed to be getting two more guests in here. I mean, Kyle's supposed to be in here. Let me see if I find Kyle. Kyle and T, and I think X gonna be late. So listen, man, the Super Bowl. This is the question I got for you, Manny. The Super Bowl. COVID hit, and then 2 years in a row, the Super Bowl is in the city of. It's in the city of
the hosting city, yeah.
the hosting city. 2 years in a row. Could be by coincidence, but people always thought that the Super Bowl was somehow rigged or fixed or lean one way. And my question is it possible that the Super Bowl could be kind of fixed? It's kind of, and not in a way that is a script, like everybody's running a script. All 22 players have a script. No, in the way that all you got to do is get a couple of the referees to do what you need them to do when you need them to do, like call penalty on Cooper Cup 3 times in a row at the end of the game. But do you think it's possible? Because I think it's pretty amazing that it ended up in a hosting city 2 years in a row. What you think, Maddie?
In the world we live in, man, I think anything is possible. For being honest, I kind of seen that too. And what I'm actually watching in comparison to that is I want to see. Here's my thing. You got Tampa, which is a fairly big city in Florida, obviously. You got LA, which is a huge city in California, and you see both of those are hosted cities. They bring people out. They got events. Every celebrity you could think of is in a building, whether they're there for the game or for the halftime show. And so I'm like, this, in my opinion, I think it's not impossible. They're like, oh no, the game's not fixed. I just think it's the funniest coincidence. So when I'm watching, actually in conjunction with that, is this upcoming All Star game, because if the All Star game is in a city like Cleveland, that is in some cases a major city, not a huge city, but a major city. And if they don't pull the normal revenue or the viewership that they would normally get if it was in a bigger city, I'm interested to see how that dynamic happens and what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? So um, I think at the end of the day, all this stuff is always going to be about ratings, being a ratings draw, ratings grab. I think that's what drives a lot of the entertainment industry as a whole. Is how do we get the most viewership out of the events that we put on? The Super Bowl is obviously the biggest event. Obviously, there was a lot of different dynamics, especially with this year, because you got to think like it's the first time ever that Super Bowl happened, and we know Tom Brady won't be, in a deciding factor in it. It's pretty much the post Brady era. So it's interesting to see what young guns come up and start making a difference in that realm, in that space. Um, but it would be irresponsible for me to think that there's zero chance whatsoever that those games could be fixed if certain people aren't, making a call or throwing a flag when it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? As Kings, I think we all understand that. Like,
Right. We
I,
all
I still
understand that,
hate
right?
Terry. It's really a situation where if I ever saw Terry Porter in the street and someone's like, "Hey, that's Terry Porter," like you got to throw hands. It's an on-site situation. Like you know what time it is. Like
If you saw him on site, you know what he looked like.
if someone said that's Terry Porter right there, hopefully they just wouldn't do it just to do it. But if I was like, that's Terry Porter, he know what it is. Like you guys see me. I don't care how old Terry Porter is. And it's an old ass man. I don't care. You got to see me with the hands
On site.
immediately on site. No
So we
talking
got big
like
Kyle in here, man. Kyle, another member from our YouTube and our group me member. Kyle, what's going
What's
on, bro?
good? What's going on with y'all fellas?
Chilling. I mean, the
much,
intro,
not
man.
much.
We was getting just started, and the question was, man, do you think it's possible somehow the Super Bowl can be fixed, like because it's not like a script, and we've all heard the audio from the YouTube with the guy who played in the Super Bowl who said basically they knew what Tampa. I think they knew what the Raiders were going to run, and we all heard that. But fixed from a standpoint of like all you gotta do is get a couple referees to do what the league want them to do or need them to do at a certain time. You think it's possible,
No, I
Kyle?
think it's more than possible. I'm not saying that that's what happens, but it's more than possible. You got to remember what's his name, Tim Donahue was doing in the NBA, and he was doing it for a long time. I had a partner of mine. He played in the league, and I forgot what Super Bowl it was he was watching, and he said it on social media. He said, "Man, listen here. If y'all don't think this shit ain't set up, then I don't know what to tell y'all." And he wasn't saying it just to say it because he's not one of those persons that just talk to talk. He was being legit in what he said. So yeah, it's more than possible. I ain't saying it happens or it happens often, but come on, man. Sports has been manipulated for a long time.
You say it's been manipulated for a long
Yeah,
time.
sports period, just in general. I mean, you remember all the dives people used to take in boxing, you know what I mean? And all those types of things going on. So sports been rigged for a long time. I'm not saying that that's what happened this year or any year in particular. But yeah, I think the possibility is, yeah, the capability is definitely there.
Got you. Oh, it's hmm, kind of sad that we feel this way.
I mean, it's a part of life.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it part of life?
I think
Huh?
so. Shit, life rigged.
It's a part. That boy said it's a part of life. Oh man. So no, I just want to get that question out of there, man. Another thing, Cooper Cup, dog. Like, how good is this man really, man? I mean, in college, I think he averaged like 100 catches a year. Uh, yeah, 1,300 yards in college he averaged, and the man just seems unstoppable, dog.
Uh,
I think Cooper Cup. I think Cooper Cup is one of them guys that um, maybe he was just. I think what they say he was a two-star recruit coming out. Maybe the services got it wrong. Maybe he was just a big fish in a little pond. I don't know, but to me, to see it translate to the next level, I think that's awesome in my opinion. Um,
Right.
he's this isn't something new though. Like he's been doing that really since he got drafted. It's just who the quarterback was. He may have to play with Jared Goff. Um, and then when he got up out of there, you know what I'm saying, he kind of had a chance to emerge. You know what I'm saying. Then obviously you get a guy like OBJ in your locker room mid-season. You really got to kind of feel like, but you wondering from leadership, like from your leadership standpoint, like so why they bringing him up in here? Like I'm doing my thing, like so yeah, for sure he was kind of the hero that night for sure. OBJ went down because I ain't gonna lie, I'll say it, I feel like OBJ was playing at a different level. Like OBJ prior to his injury he was on another level. Like it's just like he had one speed and everybody else just playing at one step below him. And so if he didn't get hurt, which is unfortunate because it was a non-contact injury, I think he was well on his way to MVP. But yeah, you see Cooper Cup step up. I mean, it wasn't like he had a bunch of crazy yardage, but just he was the most impactful for the caliber of the game it was, and he was the most impactful when he needed to be. And so I think that speaks volumes about him. I don't think it's a fluke. I think he's been like that. I mean, the man won a triple crown. So regular season he was getting it too. He was getting his yardage. He was getting his receptions. So it's kind of just an embodiment of the level of work he's putting through his time in the NFL and in college. So
If y'all haven't heard, at Eastern Washington, 2013 he had 93 receptions, 1,600 yards. 2014 he had 100 receptions, 1,400 yards. 2015 he had 114 receptions, 1,600 yards. 2016 he had 117 receptions, 1,700 yards.
that's elite.
And I think he read like a 4.6 at the combine. Listen, he has to be super quick and extra strong. There has to be something about him, dog. Something about him that I felt bad for Eli. And why they just didn't put the safety over top? Why they didn't get a man no help?
I guess because he went to the Ohio State, right? So I guess he felt like he had an opportunity, but hey, it is what it is.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can't contribute much to that because when the time I woke up Sunday, the game was over.
What?
Um, yeah, look, ever since when all that stuff jumped off with Cap, bro, it just put a sour taste on my mouth to the NFL. So I really ain't been watching since, bro. I used to be one of those people that know everybody, every player on the bench, all that stuff. Now, bro, I can honestly tell you, I've never seen Cooper Cup play. I hear about him. I've never seen the man play, so I can't really add to this conversation.
Yeah, that's understandable.
You've never really watched him. You've never really watched him play.
I've never seen that man catch a ball in my life.
So I did. So you said when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, you say it kind of turned you off. That was about 3-4 years ago, wasn't it, bro?
Oh
No,
yeah.
that was
So the
wild.
first that was a while ago. That was like what 5, 6 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was
16, 17-ish.
yeah, I was nah. Well, after all that stuff went down and the way the NFL treated it and all that kind of stuff, because I was on board with the whole. I didn't watch it all. Like probably the first time when it first happened, and everybody was like, "Man, we don't need to be watching this trash." Whatever. Whoop, whoop. I stopped watching. I stopped watching for a year. What made me start watching back a little bit was when Lamar got into the league. I love Lamar Jackson. I gotta see Lamar. You know what I'm saying? I would tune into his games And being a Dolphins fan, I would just watch them just so I can know what's going on and see how they doing. But between Cap and between whatever the hell the Dolphins got going on, that shit just turned me off to the NFL, bro. And I just kind of just stopped really watching.
Well, you'd be happy to know. I guess there was some controversy around the halftime show where I guess the NFL had told Eminem not to kneel, and he did it anyway in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. So
Is that the
I
truth
was
of what happened? Because I heard
I,
people talking about it, but I didn't know.
he
I
took a
Somebody
I,
was
I
knee,
like,
see.
but I heard that they knew he was gonna take a knee. You heard something different,
"Hmm,
Maddie?
I heard that after the fact, like that, and then there was another thing about Dr. Dre um, saying "Still Not Loving Police" in one of his verses, and they told him to omit it. He kind of did what he wanted anyway. And
Nah,
in my head,
I
the way I
heard
see
that
it is,
part.
yeah, the way I see it is, they I didn't know this till the day of the game, but they pay the NFL to perform in a halftime show,
Yeah.
and Dr.
Uh-huh.
Dre apparently fronted most of the money of this. I think it was like $7 million to do it. He fronted most of the money himself and got to choose, kind of who was the accompanying artists, and then they paid a small percentage as well. So in my head, the way I look at it is like if you allow me to come in your platform on the biggest, most grandest stage during the halftime show, I kind of feel like I'm allowed to do whatever the hell I feel like. If I'm being honest, like I mean,
I feel
everything
like somebody.
obviously in the context of like rating and it's a family show, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if I'm willing to take a political stand about it, then in reality, if I paid you money for it, you gave me the space to do it. So
I feel like somebody dropped the ball. Somebody didn't go to Roger Goodell and say, "Hey man, look, there's this movie out called Straight Outta Compton. You need to watch this movie, and this is the guy right here that you finna put in there. Because if you really thought that that man wouldn't, or somebody in his camp wouldn't take an opportunity to make a political statement, I
you
mean, you
crazy.
just ain't been paying attention. So somebody should have set Goodell down and say, this was an actual song. Fuck the police. Yeah, this guy. But
Yeah.
it's all whatever."
What'd you say? Yeah, this actually happened, huh?
Right, exactly. So like I don't know. Maybe he didn't know Dr. Dre back then who he was. I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
all that is interesting. I think it's really even today, man. It's still so much division and seeing all this stuff like pretty much on the daily now about critical race theory and all that stuff. Like it gets kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like for me, like the part that actually threw me off was the fact that it was only Eminem who did it, and I don't know if that was something that was planned or coordinated. Like, hey, Em, as the only Caucasian performer up here, you got to do it, or if that was something where Em just kind of did his own thing, or was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and no one knew. I'm not sure, but it's one of those things that um, I'm definitely not mad about it. I feel like it was after all this time. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we kind of just turned a blind eye to as time has kind of gone on, and to see somebody take that platform to be like, hey, this is the platform I was given. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna do something about it. It drew some respect from me for sure. A lot of the artists would have just kind of took that opportunity and ran. So
Got you. Yeah, I think it was the best Super Bowl halftime show ever, bro.
I've heard people say it, but like, man, like the Super Bowl been having a halftime show for so long. Like, you got to really go through the archives and think like, for hip hop, it's the greatest period. But just the collaborative, reckoning of all those people. But all the time, I have to go back and look. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause people saying that, even people who was hardcore Beyonce fans, like, yep, that was better than Beyonce. Da, da, da. So I don't know. Beyonce did shut down the whole stadium, like literally from an
Who?
electricity standpoint.
Beyonce?
Beyonce, so
What'd you call her? Beyonce.
Beyonce,
Beyonce.
you shut
Oh,
you shut down the whole like the power went out after her Super Bowl show in the stadium.
yeah.
That was the Super Bowl that Kaepernick was in.
Right. Well, my favorite is Janet Jackson showing the titty. I ain't gonna lie. Greatest Super Bowl show ever. Greatest Super Bowl moment ever in life. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh,
So listen, man, it goes down today. Mario Cristobal comes in and retains and keeps Our homeboy Benedict Hippolyte, Mr. Sticks Up when he was at Booker T, who's went through the coaching ranks pretty fast though. It seemed as if just yesterday he was at Carol City, and I was telling everybody they'll be the greatest team ever. Go down as one of Miami's greatest teams ever, and then Flex rushed for 538 yards on them in the playoffs and kicked them out. But Hippolyte gets retained, and then jets to Florida. Boom. Then Miami picks up coach from Duke, Donovan Varner. Um, well, this coach musical chairs, bro, is crazy. Um, how I wouldn't even trust the I wouldn't even trust a coordinator to hire a coach to come coach with him. How y'all feel about first of all Hippolyte leaving and how these coaches just get in and get out?
At this point,
Go
man, it's
ahead, Kyle.
all at this point, like that's all we see. That's what coaches are doing. They're coming in, they're coming out. So at this point, I think it's something that um we got to get used to now. You know what I'm saying? The shit like you saying that like you said before, like yeah, we get upset when it's us or whatever when they're coming in and going and all that kind of stuff, but we happy when we do it to somebody else. Like we was like looking at what happened with BMAC. That would let us salty, but at the same time, they had them put what's his name, Coach Steele name on the damn door up in Maryland. So I think it's
Right,
just
right,
something we got to get used to. These guys coming and going.
right, right.
I'm interested to see um what his oh, we got X in the building, y'all. I'm interested to see what Sean McVay about to retire.
Who about to retire?
It's trending on I'm looking at the article for Benedict Hippolyte from Florida. But I guess it's trending on 24/7 that Sean McVay's possibly gonna retire
Oh, Sean McVay.
at age 36.
Hmm.
It's weird, but whatever. But yeah, I feel like with Hippolyte, you heard me. I kind of said that, and we're gonna get into it. Like, it's just one of those things where he just felt that pressure from the standard that Mario's trying to take the program to, and just kind of was like, hey, I'd be better off somewhere else. Because I feel like, and we all collectively felt like this too. Like with the rumors that's going around, I don't know if that's gonna happen with with that particular coach that you said. Um, if he does come on staff, did we lose anything from Benedict Hippolyte? Maybe X can give some better perspective than me, but
Yeah, man.
um,
The Hippolyte situation is I mean, when you think about it and then when you look at the facts, what happened was when Mario decided to hire the offensive coordinator is he's bringing in um people who he's more familiar with off field. Mario was handling the people that's on field. So it was bound to happen. A guy is going to bring in somebody he's familiar with instead of working with somebody he's never worked with before. And it is what it is. But Hippolyte has submitted himself to be an asset to UM, especially in South Florida, because he did have very, very strong ties to handling the three amigos with Rashad Smith, Romello Brinson, and then Jacoby George. So he does has a ties where he can do what he do. So Florida getting him is a good thing because now they got somebody in South Florida who can, maneuver. Unfortunately, we couldn't. I mean, not saying we couldn't hold on to him because, like I say, the offensive coordinator brought in somebody who he's more familiar with. So it was like, hey man, you can't keep them all. You can't save everybody. That's the situation that with Hippolyte is. But
So Terminator. So break it down with what you're saying. You're saying the offensive coordinator brought somebody in, right?
yeah,
Um, and how did that make Hippolyte
Okay, well, he bought
What do
the
you say
offensive
happening? What's the
coordinator.
theory on?
The offensive coordinator brought in a receiver quality control coach, which was the same position that Hippolyte was in. So, and it was just plain as day. Like, okay, well, if they're going to bring in somebody to do what I do, then I'm not. They don't really value what I'm doing. Not saying they didn't, but maybe I could go get another job at another place where I could be the same role, and that's what it is.
Damn, I didn't know that was the situation. Like I'm one of those people that feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I understand guys want to bring in their own guys or whatever, but if I step in and I say like X is saying like this guy's partially responsible for the three amigos and things like I gotta make I don't know, I think I gotta go with what's working. You know, I felt that way. Like I'm always pounding the table for my dog, like Kevin Beard. You know, when somebody comes in and somebody's doing a good job, I don't necessarily need to replace them because they're not really affecting my strategy. You know what I'm saying? Like if I come in and I want to run, but it's OC Hill want to throw, yeah, that's different. But if I got like a good receivers coach, or running backs coach, or recruiter, or whatever, I'm gonna let them hang out and stay in their roles and do their thing. I'm not gonna bring in another guy, you know what I mean, to compete with them. But like X saying, you know, I guess you want to bring in who you're familiar with. But I understand what Hippolyte did. I probably would get the same thing.
I mean, and that's just business. You know what I'm saying? If somebody get a new job and they're in control of a full company, then they tell you to hire people. You want to hire people you're more familiar with that can handle the job that you want to be handled. Um, that's just how it goes in business. You know what I'm saying? Hippolyte didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, Hippolyte would have loved to stay at the University of Miami, but it's just branching off to continue your career. Um, it might lead into him getting a on-field position, coaching, receiving job at certain schools. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad. Like, hey, just go get it. So, but the one thing Mario was doing was he was strategically placing people in position. You know what I'm saying? So when the offensive coordinator, Josh Gaddis, came, he just said, okay, well, I got people in position, but I'm going to let you say if you want extra or added people. And Josh Gaddis felt comfortable with hiring the guy who he was with. You know what I'm saying? And this is just what it is. And the great thing about it is the guy that he did bring is a South Florida guy also. Was that Gulliver?
Donovan Varner.
Yeah, he's a South Florida kid, the guy anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that it's that bad. I mean, me personally, I would have kept Hippolyte regardless because I know what Hippolyte can do. But it is what it is. You know, I'm just trusting Mario all the way. I'm not questioning what he's doing because obviously he knows what he's doing, and all the naysayers is we the ones that's guessing and going crazy. So
You say you trust Mario 100%?
yeah, I trust him 100%.
X, if you had to grade this high, what would you grade it?
You say what?
If you had to grade the Varner hire, what would you grade it?
I mean, it's an off-field quality control hire, so I can't really grade that.
Yeah.
It's you can only grade the coaches who are developing on the field. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I'm not going to grade off-field hires.
His
Great
my
Roland Smith.
understanding.
Great Roland Smith being hired.
Well, that's good for Dade County because Roland is he's one of them yellow buses that Luke was talking about.
Not the
He's
yellow
from the
bus.
you know where the bodies are. You know the bodies are buried.
Yeah, he know where the body's buried. You know what I'm saying?
You
He
know
go
the
dig them
bodies are
up.
buried. He played for UM though, right? Played for UM and he coached
Played
there
for
before,
UM,
right?
went to UM, he played for UM. So guess what? He knows the tradition, so he's gonna do what he do.
Y'all been around these kids. I got this question for both of y'all. Y'all seen Roland up close. Would you say he's in the same mold as Mario at the Cubs though? Is he quote unquote an asshole or whatever these people are saying? Do you see a potential clash between the two? I mean, it was teammates. So I mean,
You say do we say is Roland is one of the assholes like Mario?
yeah, yeah.
What you mean? Wait,
Listen,
wait, wait. Let him explain that question. Wait, wait,
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
wait.
Okay, explain it more.
Say that. Get more clear with the
So
question.
you know,
Explain what you're saying.
in the group, we were discussing. You know, what I'm saying the idea that people are saying that Mario is difficult to work with because his standards are so high. He talks to
Hmm.
people crazy sometimes. In my head, I'm like, you play football, it's like it's football. Like it's not candy and roses and being sweet to each other. It's football. Like it's grown men out there trying to knock each other's heads off. So it's not supposed to be nice. But some people have issues with it, and they feel like, oh, Mario is doing this or getting upset or holding coaches accountable, whatever the case may be. Do you see that same level, that same energy coming from Roland when y'all go watch day practices, at his hopefully soon to be previous destination?
Okay,
Um.
by that question, I'm gonna ask everybody this. Okay, so I've been saying it for the longest. Mario learned from probably two of the best talent developers in college football history, being Butch Davis one, then Nick Saban two. Um, if anybody know either of the coaches, they know that both of them coaches are difficult to work with because they demand a certain type of excellence. So by Mario working with both, I mean I would expect for him to demand a certain type of excellence. So it'll be like, yeah, I demand this, and if you're not, all right, well, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not up to standard, and so um, you just got to put it in that perspective that Mario demands that because he's been around coaches who did demand it, and then it worked for them. You know what I'm saying? So if it worked for them, he's saying, well, if it worked for them, and if I do exactly the same or similar stuff, it's a work for me too.
Mm.
So we've all heard the stories about coaches having hard times working with Nick Saban. I mean, it's there. We heard stories about coaches having hard times working with Butch Davis. You know what I'm saying? It's there. So
That's true.
I'm not going to say it's not it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because guess what? If it's a hard thing and you demand excellence and you win it, I want it. I definitely wanted that you won.
I think what you Roland Smith. Okay, so a little background on Roland Smith. A little background on Roland Smith. Roland Smith, no nonsense guy. I mean, you got to be a no nonsense, disciplined guy when you're coaching these South Florida kids. Roland Smith was the Roland Smith's staff. Um, was at Miami Northwestern and got that thing back on track with my little cousin EJ was at quarterback, and then eventually it ended up being Ja'Cory Harris when they all got fired through the Easterling things. But I remember Roland Smith bringing the discipline back to Northwestern, right? And getting Northwestern back discipline, and then got them kind of back on track, and it led into when him and AJ and those guys were fired, they left that team which was Ja'Cory Harris, Darius Johnson, which we say some of us say the greatest high school football team we ever saw. They built that team. I mean, AJ talked about it on the show before. They built that team. Then they went on to Central, and you see what they've done at Central. Um, Roland Smith has been ahead of that. He's been ahead of that the whole time. 6 championships for him. I think AJ said he has 9 in all, but 6 championships. Run the state of Florida. Basically became the big dog in Dade County. Um, so no, Roland Smith is a man's man, dog. Like he's not. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when you say a clash, I think this is the thing. When you say a clash, right? I don't think there's rank structures. I was a United States Marine, and there's rank structures. There's a difference between being disrespectful and respectful in the rank structure. The rank structure in the military is that's what makes things work. You have to be able to take orders. You do. You have to be able to take orders. I don't care if you're man. I don't care if you're bigger. You have to respect the rank structure because everything in the military is based on we may one day be in the field and somebody's life can depend on this. If I can't give you an order and expect you to carry out the order, then I can't trust you. Then we got a problem. Um, so I don't think there'd be any clash. I mean, and coaches is set up like that. I don't think there'd be any clash or anything like that. I heard Mario can get a little testy. I think he's Cuban, right? I mean, my coach in high school, Coach
Yeah.
Rocco, was Cuban.
Mario's Cuban. I mean, but
Yeah,
is it
and
wrong
Rocco was
to
a little
get tested?
crazy, right?
Get
Right?
tested?
X, you remember that? Rocco
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
little, yeah. Rocco was good off his rocker, pull the
Oh
pants
shit.
down the middle of the game, throw chalk at the referee.
Man, Rocco. What was the other one? Coach. Who was at the high? Well, when them boys was
All of
in
them, Shaky,
Frank
Frank,
Martin,
all of
Shaky
them a little off their rocker,
Rodriguez,
dog.
all them Spanish. They traditional Spanish. Like yeah,
Shaky,
they go
Frank,
on.
Frank in South Carolina, now
Frank
lunatic.
Martin, Shaky Rodriguez, Coach Rocco. Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, Coach Rowland, he demand excellence because he's been at that top level in high school where he had the best team in the nation 2 years in a row. Um, he goes to Central now. He has top tens in the nation every year. So he knows he has the portfolio to be to perform on that level as a coach. He went to UM when UM was at the high level. That's the type of stuff that you need. Mario is interacting with guys, getting them in that atmosphere to bring that back. Um, because Roland Smith is an excellent addition because not everybody's saying, oh well, he's going to recruit. Nah, we not don't even just forget about the recruiting. Let's talk about the development of character that he's going to bring to the university because he's been there. Me and Streeter, we do Central games all the time, and we could tell you that the character of kids that comes out of that school is on a high level, and it's not just about football. It's about being accountable about what they do on and off the field. That's what Mario bringing to this, bringing to the staff, and I'm loving it. Like when we found that out, I was like, boy, that
Man, this guy
happened,
never
man. This is
assembled,
gonna
dog.
be crazy.
Here's another question for y'all. Where do y'all see him? Well, before, because I think a lot of people are confused, to include me, X or if you ever one of y'all, because I know they explained it on the episode, with AJ. And I think they did on we had the whole Central staff on, but explain that whole thing about not being able to recruit a school for 2 years or
Okay,
whatever
well
for people listening.
that. Look, don't pay attention to people who don't know what the hell they talking about. People on
So
Twitter,
I'm trying to explain it.
yeah, people on Twitter or whatever, they don't know what they talk about. AJ, I mean not AJ, because Roland Smith is going to be an off-field analyst, which means he's able to recruit when the kids come to the university. They saying, oh, well, he was at Central. No, that rule been changed years ago. We're not worrying about that. If it was that, guess what? They would have never hired him. Like Mario knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So do not pay attention to the people on Twitter who don't know, especially these fake media groups. Let them talk what they
So,
talk because they
so,
don't know.
so be clear. Be clear what you're saying. X, you saying that the 2-year rule.
Okay, in past years, the 2-year rule came into a point where what's I got? Devin Bush. Devin Bush went to Michigan and they
Right,
were saying, oh well,
2017 it started.
yeah, if you hire a coach out of high school, you can't recruit that kid for 2 years or recruit the school.
For 2 years.
That rule was changed immediately because a lot of schools started doing the same exact thing. SEC particularly. So now the rule is it can't be an on-field coach that you hire to recruit a school. It has to be off-field, which is why schools hire off-field coaches.
So wait. You're okay. Wait. So you're saying that let's go through the steps. Roland Smith gets hired, right?
Yeah.
He's off the field.
Yeah.
They could still recruit Central.
They can still recruit Central.
But if he gets hired and he's on the field,
If he's hired and he's on the field, they can't recruit Central for 2 years.
I think it's the other way around.
No, that's the way. That's the rule. That's the NCAA rule.
If
Street
he
in here
gets hired,
trolling.
huh?
Street in here trolling.
If he gets hired, right? And he's
Yeah,
off the field, right?
yeah. He's only able to recruit when he's on campus. If the
Uh huh.
kids come to campus, that's the only way he's able to recruit. After that, he can't.
He can't. But if you hire him as an on-field coach,
If you're on the field, he can go recruit wherever he want to recruit. That's where they don't want it to happen, which is why they said, "Oh, no pressure, hire him off field and just let if they come to the campus, it's cool. But as long as he can't go to the school and to the houses."
I don't know,
And
X.
for clarification, on-field coaches can go to the school and to the houses.
On field coaches can do it. Off field coaches can't. Off field coaches can only recruit once they get to campus.
Got you.
That's the legal rule of the NCAA.
Right. So the rule of 2 years before and 2 years after, right? That they started in 2017,
Yeah.
right? We
You
got
got
coach.
T pulling up.
We got T pulling up in here. See if T can shed some light on the situation. So that rule they started in 2017, right? Which was crazy which was crazy and handcuffed the high school coaches of winning
Yeah.
programs. You ask me, the ones who put kids in college. I was reading on it today, and it was saying that in 2017, 2 years before and 2 years after is the craziness they started. And you're saying they immediately changed that?
Yeah, they changed it because it was colleges complaining because other colleges was getting the exception. Michigan being one, Bama, other schools. So you're able to I can hire this guy as an off-field analyst and stuff like that, but I can still recruit that school. That was the complaining because they missed that. What happened was they were saying you can't hire a guy to be on field because they felt like, okay, well, if he's on field now, he can actually go into American Heritage or St. Thomas and recruit. Opposed to, damn, he can't go to them schools. He just got to wait till the kids come to the school. You know what I'm saying? So that was the rule that it was immediately changed.
T in here yet?
I don't know. Yeah, now I don't know, but yeah, it's a crazy rule because when it happened, it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Oh, everybody complaining about out of town schools getting coaches from South Florida because they bringing kids to them. So
Right.
now, if University of Miami just do everything and start hiring all
I'm here.
the
What's up?
South Florida coaches, the yellow bus that Luke says, they could complain because all the kids gonna go to UM. I mean, it don't necessarily happen like that. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, if you do have a kid that's raw, that goes to school and the coach follows him, it just happens. It happens every year. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta be on top of your game, man. Look, we not even finna get into that topic. Just be on top of your game, colleges, because kids want certain things. If you can't offer it, and they're not coming.
Right. T, unmute your mic.
What's going on here? What's up?
What's going on, bro? You
What's
good?
up with you? Yeah, man.
good?
What's up? Sorry, I'm
We ain't here
super
talking about
late.
the goofy rule, man. The goofy rule can't review hire a coach, can't recruit the school. You coached a little bit, bro. You caught up on that rule?
Yeah, I know all about it. Passed away to 2017, 2018, where if you hired
Right.
a coach, a school hired a coach, you had to be on one of the 10 on-field positions versus putting them in the support role staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that rule. A lot of people don't like
We
it.
was trying to see. I know they hinted last year that they were going to stop it, right? X saying he think they did stop it.
Nah,
He's saying
No, it's off field now. It's not on field. If it's on field, then you can't recruit. You can't recruit that school. Off field, you can. Because I mean, they figuring like
It's the same.
how much
It's
can
the
you do
same
off
rule.
field?
You just saying a different way. Pretty much, if you hire a high school coach, you got to hire him on field. You got to hire him on field if you're going to recruit one of his kids, right? But if you can hire him in the
Right.
support staff if you're not recruiting one of his kids, you know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got nobody that he recruit, no. So if you hire a high school coach who doesn't have a kid that's going to be on your program, you can hire him in any role you want. But if you're gonna hire, you know, if you're gonna hire Coach Mo at Texas A&M, then you got to make him the linebacker coach. You know what I mean? So straight up.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so-
That was
so-
one of the rules. They were saying it can't be that position. Like you can't coach that same position.
So basically, tell me this: Roland Smith just gets hired, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lamar Seymour transfers to Miami Northwestern. They got a kid named Bain. I think we're going to take a look at next year, right?
Yeah.
How does that affect? This is the only thing everybody want to know. How does that affect? You know what I'm saying? Miami and recruiting Bain.
Is that kid Bain's high school coach that we hired, or is it his brother?
No. Roland Smith just got
Yeah,
hired.
Roland Smith was the high
head
school
coach
coach.
of Miami Central,
Oh, he
right?
got hired at UM.
It's not going to affect him.
He just
Yeah.
they got hired at UM.
Mhm.
He got hired at UM.
What
We're
role?
going to be hired at UM. It's not official yet. It's not. I don't know if it's official yet, but he's going to be hired at UM. That's what we're hearing.
Okay.
Bain, which is deep in that everybody wants. How does that affect?
What if Bain transfer? Does it matter now?
I'm asking. So that's what I'm saying. But slow down a little bit, T. How does it affect him recruiting Bain? Start there.
I mean, he technically wouldn't be recruiting Bain until he got on campus. He couldn't like recruit him off campus. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he had to.
But can the school recruit him
Yeah,
still? Because they just took a
Miami
coach.
definitely can still recruit him. Yes.
Yeah, the
Okay.
school
Not a
gonna still
problem at all.
recruit him. That's not the
And
problem.
what if Roland Smith getting hired? Okay, let's say we can't get Central kids, right? What if the Central kids
Right.
we won't end up transferring to Northwestern? There we go, right? So
Oh well, yeah, we were gonna get into that. We were gonna get into the scamming. We're gonna get into how do you
don't
circumvent
call
the
it
rule
don't call it
eventually?
scamming. Don't call it scamming. Don't say
How do you
that.
circumvent the rule?
Right.
Like, come on, man. The suits make it and we break it.
Right. I mean,
How do you circumvent the rule?
I mean, bro, I don't think you need to circumvent the rule. I just think you need to be on the up and up. You know what I mean? I just think that we need to do our due diligence and make sure we're hiring good people and good staff, regardless of whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a guy's in high school is good enough to be on staff on the field, then let's do it, bro. Like, I don't want to have a situation where we gotta play cloak and daggers or doing dirty crap like Ole Miss did or what Bama's doing now. Not Bama, but what Georgia's doing now to get kids. But let's be on the up and up, man. I mean, the city of Miami, we're always gonna have an eye on our back regardless. But there are ways to circumvent it in the sense that a kid can transfer. What if we hire a kid's high school coach, but then that kid transfers to a different high school, right? Or we actually put the coach on the field for 1 year, and then when the kid gets on campus, we put him back on the support staff. It's definitely ways around the rule. But I just think we need to be on the up and up with it no matter what.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like I say, man, the rules. Just reading through it, man. You really got to read through it, comprehend what it really says, and then go from there. Obviously, Rueben Bain is definitely going to still be recruited at UM.
Right.
For one, his brother did just get a job at UM, so that was never going to stop the fact of that. Roland Smith getting that job at UM is definitely not going to stop the fact that they're going to recruit him hard. It's just, I know when you read it, they say like, it can't be that position coach. So if he was that position coach in high school, then he can't really. I mean, it's a dumb rule for one. Like,
Right.
what does that mean? Anything?
I'm gonna read this. It said going forward, an FBS school can hire a high school coach as one of its 10 on-field coaches, but cannot add one to its support staff, which is a critical professional stepping stone, unless the college has not recruited one of the high school coaches players in the past 2 years. And if the college does hire the high school coach, the college then cannot recruit a player from that former high school for 2 years, making it essentially a 4-year window, 2 years in each direction.
Fellas, what's up, man?
Certain ways where you can get around the rules.
What's going on, coach?
What's going on, coach?
So that
I'm
means
good, man.
Yeah, but it's
that
certain
sounds like the
ways
only
you
way
can
we'll
get
be
around.
safe. That sounds like the only way we'll be safe is if we get coaches from Coral Springs or something.
Goofy rule,
If they got good
So-
coaches.
Hey, so real quick, man, that rule, man.
Okay, so
So-
hey, we got Coach Hayes in here. Coach Hayes
Yeah,
coached at New Orleans. Coach Hayes coached at where else you coached at, Coach Hayes? Hard
Man,
Knock Life High School. He coached at
this man
Lakeview.
here.
His mama was the MVP. She played with Go ahead, man. Coach A, I'm sure Coach A, you dealt with the rule, right? Front center, right?
Yeah, man. Actually, I was a part of it. So what
Talk.
happened is, so with Bush, we know Bush, so really they changed that rule prior to Bush getting there. There was a quarterback that Harbaugh was trying to get out of out of California, and his dad was a quarterback coach for a high school, and Harbaugh was going to hire him. This what was that coach name? Johnson, Mike Johnson, maybe I think of Will Johnson. But anyway, the son was a good prospect, and so what happened was, um, that was the implementation of that whole rule. To be honest, so Bush slipped in right on time. You know what I mean? So that's what actually happened. So the time it was, but the whole spark started with that coach, because this was a highly touted quarterback, and so Harbaugh kind of bent the rules. So here's what happened: Harbaugh still bent the rules. So Donovan Edwards, that's at Michigan, who's the running back, Harbaugh hired his high school coach, but made him the on-field wide receiver coach. That's how he could bring that coach on. So the receiver coach for Michigan last year was Donovan Edwards' high school coach. All right. If he's off the field, then they couldn't recruit it. The reason they do 2 years before and 2 years after is because they don't want to say, for example, you got a Rueben Bain in the 10th grade. So I'm gonna bring you on now so you could be influenced to get him to come that way, right? And the same thing 2 years after. So even if Ruben Bain was a transfer to Northwestern, he would be ineligible. Either that kid can come and they got a fire rolling or whatever. But how Ruben Bain's gonna get around it is because his brother is there on the staff. So that's immediate family. So that kind of overrides that rule in that sense. That makes sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how Ruben Bain's gonna get around the recruiting part, because it's just like saying, because in essence, if that's the case, because it's called a player association rule, they're like saying you can't recruit your own son, and that's not the case because he's immediate family. You know what I mean? So that's how they're gonna probably petition that and get around it. And I guarantee Mario already petitioned that through the NCAA before they even brought up Roland Smith in that role, just to make sure it was clear.
So, Coach, I got a question. With that, is that
Yeah.
kind of the same thing they did with the Michigan coach?
Mhm.
Because he was immediate family, that was his son, or was that was that after?
Well, no. Remember, it was so much fuss that rule hadn't actually been implemented yet. They hadn't really started, and that's how Bush got in, because the rule was still being put together, and so Bush kind of got grandfathered in right before that happened. You see what I'm saying? 'Cause remember, he had Josh Metellus
Yeah, I
and
got you.
also Devin Gill. So right after that,
Yeah, he
then they
had like
put in the
three of them kids from that school he was coaching at.
yeah. So he at Flanagan.
Got you.
Yeah. So actually, it's the other way around. Now, if he's off the field, he can't. You can't recruit the kid if he's off the field, because remember, I could give you the doggone. You know what I mean? You could be the weight room cleanup dude just to get you on campus so you can have an influence to get guys. Now they're trying to say, if you want to do that bad, then you got to take one of your 10 coaches to make him a coach if you want him that bad. So that coach got to really be worth it for you to get those kids. You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to
Yeah.
take that risk?
Somebody
Right.
asked
I
in,
don't, I don't
in
know
our group
about
chat.
I don't know about family or friends angle. I mean, it really anybody. It really don't matter. If you coach the kids and you can't be on staff, right? I mean, you can't be on unless
No,
you're on the
you
field.
can be.
Nah, I'm looking at the bylaw
Well,
right now. It says, it doesn't matter if you parent, friend, trainer, all that.
correct, the player association. But remember, his brother did not coach him. His brother is on the staff.
Right. That's when we talked. I don't know if he was on the call earlier when I was saying I didn't think his brother was directly coaching him when they hired him. So we can get around that with that aspect. So yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because his brother's on the staff, they can kind of probably petition to say, or get a waiver or whatever the case may be, to say, hey, well, this is the dude's brother. He wanted to come to the school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if his brother wasn't on staff, then I don't think Roland would get that job, to be honest, because the kid is more important than the coach any day.
So another question we got is Lamar Seymour, Miami Central wide receiver, recently transferred to Northwestern, right? He was already
Mhm.
committed to Miami.
Mhm.
Um, Two things. Will it be a problem with recruiting him, or we get this question in our private group meeting? Will it be a problem with recruiting him or Bain?
Based on the rules, Seymour may be out. Based on the rule, I'm saying the only reason Bain may be in because his brother's on staff. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But Seymour may be out. That may be something they evaluated, and they say, you know what? There's some cats around here that this is interesting, bro. Like it's gonna be an interesting way to see how this rule pan
It
out.
is. But last year in 2021, they hinted that they were going to change the rule. Football Scoop, one of the main platforms that was following it in 2017, put the info out. Last year they hinted that they were going to change the rules. So maybe somebody knows something going down the pipe. We haven't heard from the NCAA. Where's the NCAA? They letting Arizona State run crazy, run around here, do what they want to do. They letting Georgia recruit X-Men. Like, where are they? Have we heard from them in a while?
NCAA don't exist anymore.
And the reason they did that because they try to keep say call it what it is. They trying to keep you know people using that advantage. I'm gonna just call them street A. You call them what you want to call them from getting job right. They put that dude in the equipment room, but he bringing in 5-6 players. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why they kind of implemented that rule.
Well,
But it also kept like you say good high school coaches and top high school coaches from getting into college because Wama wants you and not want your kids. So like I say, the product is more important than the coach, which is the player.
well, listen, if that's the case, University of Miami need to hire an ex-recruiter. We'll bring all the kids and the
We need to
The water boy is swimming. We got Lance Leggett in here, man, with these
Man,
classic ass peanuts.
you
Talk,
already
man.
know.
family.
You
And
already
we'll
know,
see that
man. Listen.
with the peanuts.
And
Well,
my
X
peers got
talking.
to the
He
house,
just
so
mumbling. I
I'm
don't know what the
bringing
fuck
the
going
heat.
on.
Hey, man. So, hey, Street, I'm just trying to listen to the conversation. So, y'all saying in Dade County, the kids can't go where they want to go at?
Yeah, but we're saying because they started a rule 2017. Basically, if you hire a coach from a high school, and I done got confused whether he on the field or off the field. If you hire a coach, basically you can't recruit this. You can hire the coach if you recruit a kid from there 2 years before or 2 years after off the field. Because they was like
Oh,
Coach
okay.
Hayes was trying to say, they was trying to stop people from hiring Gatorade mixers and bringing in kids. So now that we just took Coach Roland Smith from Miami Central, the question is, what are the issues we're going to have with recruiting at school for the next 2 years, or are they going to change the rule? Because I saw they hinted at changing the rule last year.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just trying to catch on. Like, damn, what the hell they talking about? But I see what y'all talking
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
so let's get back to this Ruben Bain situation. Basically, um, okay, remember they hired his brother. His brother was currently coaching at University of Illinois before he got hired at the University of Miami. That's basically going to be a situation where we can recruit him regardless of Roland Smith coming to University of Miami because we can just use his brother as the head recruiter on campus when they do come. Um, so that's a situation where people really got to notice that it don't matter. Ruben Bain was getting recruited at University of Miami regardless.
Yeah, Coach Hayes just told you that what Coach Hayes was just saying. He was saying he gonna get in on the friends and family program.
Yeah, the brother got hired basically to recruit him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, I won't say that publicly, but you know what it is. So
I mean, is Ruben Bain the king? He got 8 people on the staff. He got DVD, his cousin. He got 8 uncles that played for the Kings. He
I
got
mean, his name is Hurricane Bain. So
about? Is that Bain? He sunk into Tavares Bain now?
yep.
he's
He's some
some
kin
kin
to
to all
Tavares.
of
He's
them.
some kin
Tavares
to
Bain, Vaso
Vaso.
Bain,
Vaso.
all
God
of them.
damn.
He's some kin to all of them.
How good is this kid? I heard is he undersized? Is that true for DN?
Well, they
Like
got him
outside backer?
limited. They got him
Y'all,
listed at
y'all,
6'2".
y'all know how y'all doing Dade County, boy. Y'all gonna hype on Elvis Dumerville.
Hey, no,
Miami gonna take
Okay,
off.
then what we gonna do?
T.
Y'all know how
Okay, go
y'all
ahead.
do. Oh,
We're gonna
let's
let
take this
X break it
5'11"
down.
DN.
We're gonna let
Here we
X
go.
break it down. We're gonna let Hayes break it down. All
All
right.
right, hold
T.
on. Hey, all right, let's do
T,
this. Then.
let me break it
Hey,
down
I don't
first.
want
T,
to hear
listen.
none of that. I don't want to hear none of that undersized dog crap.
Hey,
Size
X,
nonsense.
hey,
I'm trying to hear it.
hey, let's
Okay,
do a
so
commercial
T,
break before you.
listen. Off rip. If you go to a Miami Central football game and you see number 11 on defense, you look and you're like, well, dang, he's bigger than everybody else on the field. They don't have him listed as being bigger than everybody on the field, but he's bigger.
Okay.
He had 29 and a half sacks in 1 year and I think he missed 3 games.
He didn't even play in the state championship.
So, I mean, undersized, I want him. You know what I'm saying? I watched him for 2 years, like at Central. I mean, I watched him for 3, but 2 years, like starting and making plays. You want that kid because if they got him listed at 6'2", like I think he's 6'4", because I'm 6'2", and I think he's taller
He's
than
sat
me.
next to us. He's 6'2". He's just looking posing on the field. But
Yeah,
listen
man,
to
he
this,
just
T.
6'2" what? 240, 250.
250.
But check this out, T.
That
Check this out.
ain't gonna get it in Power 5 big
T,
time
check
football.
this out. Check this out.
Sorry
Check
to
this
tell
out.
y'all that.
Stop that.
Check this out, T. Check this out. We got
Here we go.
Hayes in
Here we
Orlando,
go.
right?
See,
Hayes in Orlando,
Here
right?
we go.
We got Hayes in
Name
Orlando, right?
Name
Watch.
the 6'2", 250-pound DNs at Miami that did anything. Name them. Come on,
Listen
I'm
to
waiting.
me. Listen to
Name
me,
them.
dog. Calm
he on
down.
his
We
way.
got Hayes in Orlando,
y'all
right?
love this undersized dog stuff. Here we go.
Hayes is in Orlando with you. Watch what
Yeah.
Hayes say about him. Hayes, how you feel about Bain?
Man, that nigga pop off the tape, dog. Straight up. I go down any alley with that dude. When I looked at his film, let me tell you something, dog. Coach, let me tell you something.
They blitz everybody in Miami. Every play.
No, dog. No. I tell people, just because you from Miami, listen, bro. Just because you from, what's up, fried chicken?
Oh, my bad.
Bruh, let me tell you something. This dude pop off the tape. It ain't anybody gonna understand. No, we ain't talking about 5'11". We talking about 6'2", right? The man's strong, he powerful, he explosive, and he gonna run it down. That's all I'm saying. And bruh, he pop. Listen, I'm doing the 2023 class. This dude here pop off the tape, bro, man. And and like you say, he looked bigger. You know, of course, he probably about 6'4" out there on the field with 2 inches of helmet on top of his head. Yeah, but what I'm talking about is, man, this dude here, and he using technique. He using all this stuff. He ain't just bigger, faster, just running over poor little Timmy's dog. This man here coming, he chasing stuff down backside. Like,
so listen, Coach Hayes.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Coach Hayes, I respect your opinion heavily. Now,
appreciate
being that he's doing that,
Mhm.
what do you see him translating to in college-wise now? Because to get
Right.
to where we want to get to,
Right.
I don't see them guys his size on the end out there, Coach.
Can I tell you? I do. Dog, everybody, again, it's not about the undersized dog. I understand what you're saying, right? The Dumerville days and all that stuff over. But that's the same thing you could say about an Aaron Donald. Here go the best part. He may not even, I know people don't like when I say this, and like people don't like to hear going down. But he gonna get bigger. He could walk out of that 275, 285 a real and become a gangster ass 3 technique.
See, now we talking,
See,
Coach. You talking,
but I'm just being honest.
language right now.
So now, but again, right? I always tell people nobody wants to go down, right? Everybody starts off at wide receiver. Can't catch, go to DB. DB don't ever want to be a linebacker. Linebacker never want to be a D-line. D-line never want to be an O-line. So,
right.
But an O-line want to be a quarterback.
yeah. But I'm gonna tell you this. I said the same thing about Shamar. I think Shamar be a gangster interior guy. 3 technique. He imposing. He quick. And bro, the thing is, but it's not sexy, right? Defense end is always sexier than the 3 technique. 3 technique sexier than the nose guard. So
it is.
If he's smart, he gonna gain weight and go in there and be a man. Think about it. You as athletic as he is, you go against a lesser talent in a guard, and you got the 2-way go, the A and B gap go.
Coach,
Come on, bro.
I agree with you so much. You know why? Because if you go back past NFL draft, past 10, 15 years, right? The D linemen that are going first round, they weren't 300 pounders out of high school. They were 250, 260, 270. The D tackles and stuff like that, those guys were super athletic. They put on that good muscle weight when they get into college, and then they still functioning just like how you explained. So I'm with you on that, coach.
Well, perfect example.
I'm with you wholeheartedly.
Perfect example, like when I came in 04, when we came into Miami, shit, I was skinny as fuck, but one person who I saw really develop was Calais Campbell. Bro, Calais Campbell was straight up and down, bro. like straight up and down. And look at Calais now.
Going on his 15th year in the league. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dog, you got to remember, man. You got to remember that he 250, right? And he ain't even on the right training table. This dude eating tater tots and boat pizza. Like, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? So he's not even on the right training table. You know what I mean? Like a Calais Campbell. You know, he eating school lunch, dog. Now he on the right training table. And that kind of white, correct way.
I'm looking at his film right now.
So
T, ain't lying, man. He look like Geno Atkins, man.
Wow. Yep.
Hey, so
there you go.
T, let me ask you this question. Do you want a player that measures the style of defensive end you want, or do you want a player that's just gonna go out there and get it?
Okay, see, that's a different type of question because
how's a different type of question? Because you saying
because I don't want a 6'2", 250.
He don't measure, but when you get on the field, he just go and get it.
How many 6'2", 250 D ends are All-Americans in college? How many got drafted in the first round? Miami is a place for NFL factor where we putting guys in the league. Now, if this guy can come play tackle for us, I'm with that. But not in at that size. It just ain't gonna happen, bro. I don't say how. How? Bro, you done been to enough Miami college football games. You stay on the sideline. Them dudes are monsters out there, bro. 6'2", 250 ain't gonna get it. At the end, now 6'2", 270, 280 at tackle, gonna get it.
I've seen you have defensive ends at 6'5", 260 and do nothing. I mean, I don't want the prototype stuff no more. I want a kid that's gonna go out there and get it.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to go. If we're gonna beat the Bamas and Georgia of the world that got prototype guys, we're gonna need those two, bro. Them days are over.
I mean, yeah.
Bro, I'm just telling you like this. We don't have an interior. No, but I was saying, dog, we don't have an interior pass rush presence either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to use linebackers to create an interior pass rush. This dude right here. Yeah, listen, man. This dude pop off to take his first two steps, his hands, his relentlessness to the ball. Bro.
So Hayes, listen to me. Hayes, okay, so you did his WRE and you did a couple other DNC. You did Shamar, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't do Bain yet. He in the 23 class. It's coming up. So
you ever did Bain yet? You did Shamar. Who else you did?
I did everybody from 22 that we looked at. Yeah, Shamar Stewart. He was the last one for 22.
Shamar Stewart, from what you saw, does he rank up there with those guys at the position?
He does coming out of high school. The problem is overall foot speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the way the defensive end is played today is not like it was. See, a lot of times when we, especially cats in the 30s, 40s, and like Streeter and shit, his ass about 70. So when we look at football, in that light, we still thinking in our mind when we played in our day. But you gotta remember, this game has changed dramatically, bro. Like, can I be honest with you? Zach Thomas couldn't even be a linebacker today.
He might be a box safety.
Zach Thomas might have been a damn 3 technique if you play around. I'm just being honest because, bro, did you see? I forgot the linebacker from the Rams. He like a beanpole out there, man. His jersey wasn't even tight.
That's how that dude Darius Leonard is from the Colts too. That same way.
But because you know what, like they say, they want oversized safety, so the body types are changing, right? And because you got to have guys that can run. Think about it. We watched the Super Bowl. The running back out there, the X receiver. You know what I mean? You'll never see Emmitt Smith at the X.
Right.
So the game is changing, right? And so with that being said, we in our eyes, we still think, Shamar's too like a big deal, but you remember, man, you got to play. Everything is a perimeter football game now, right? It's no more eye back straight up the gut. So he got to be able to chase these dudes down, come off the edge. You think Shamar's still gonna be able to chase down a Jalen Knighton as an opposition coming off the edge outside zone? It's gonna be tough.
Not a chance in hell.
right? But a 3 technique, and he run the inside zone, he can power through that, straighten down, constrict the hole, make all those good things happen. So, but again, he said he wanted to be a defensive end. So that's something you got to live with.
Oh my God! I remember Alan Bailey wanted to be a linebacker. Y'all remember that?
Who? Alan Bailey?
He wanted to be a linebacker.
I remember that.
Yeah, Alan Bailey, but he came in. That joke was huge, bro. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all when Alan came in his freshman year. Man, that dude, like, he came off a fucking slave ship. He was so goddamn big. I said, God damn, boy. Listen, that was a big ass freshman, boy. Like, when he came, like, this shit big, boy. He
Lance,
looked like, hey.
Lance, talk to him, Lance. I know you want to talk to him, dog. Go ahead. Get your
All
man.
right,
Hold on,
hey,
Lance, before you do that, Lance, I want to say appreciate the follow. But I need some of the boiled peanuts, dog. Go ahead and hit your commercial, cuz. Go ahead and hit your commercial.
Fuck that. I'm gonna run this shit. All right, y'all already know what to do. We got 200 people in this motherfucker, so I know half of y'all won't follow my motherfucking page. But listen, if half y'all go follow the page, they're gonna boost my page up. So listen, I want y'all to go on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and follow Taste One Boy Peanut Co. That's Taste One Boy Peanut Co. I ain't asking y'all about nothing. I'm just asking y'all to follow the page. Now, if y'all do want to buy something, take your ass on Taste One Boy Peanuts with an S.com, and you'll see what I had to offer, man. This is my new business I just started. We're 3 months in. We're in over 55 locations up here in Polk County. We're in 5 7-Eleven, and we just growing, man. And like I say, the University of Miami community, they helping out a lot, man. So I'm ready to bring it down to Miami. We already setting up the date to get it down to Miami, but until then, if you in Polk County around through, you can always look on the website and see what location at, or you could go online and order your own peanuts. But like I said, man, listen, we got 200 people in here. Y'all go on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and follow Taste One Boy Peanut Co. That's Taste One Boy Peanut Co. Don't go follow me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. Don't follow me. I ain't nobody. Don't follow my shit. Go follow my business page. All right, we back.
All right,
Hey,
man.
Hey, Lance, listen.
Man, them bitch got turkey neck in them, dog. Man,
Don't
that
send
shit.
That mother
Speeder
got
no more
lemon
peanuts.
pepper. That mother got everything. Syrup, boiled peanut.
Don't send Speeder no more peanuts until I get mine, man. I'm
I
still.
got you, man.
Hey,
Lance, I
I
can't
went
get
up.
no peanuts, Lance. I'm ordering. I gotta go order them.
Hey, Coach. I need to come on over there to Orlando so I can go ahead and get on the motherfucking podcast. What's up?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, we can sit here and eat them while we talk.
And talk and get them views up. What's up?
Let's do it.
All right, run it.
Hey, Lance, I went on there to get some, bro, but I see you sell them, I guess, by the box. So I was like, let me wait till Friday when my mileage check get here.
How much
and
the
then
box
I order
cost,
me a
dog?
box.
How much the box?
It was like 40. It was like 45, I think.
How many come in the box, man? 83.
Nah, 12 come in the box, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And they bagged up in them. Hey, 12 come in the box, man.
Speeder talk about 83. He got the whole box.
They sell now.
His family eat all of them.
Hey, that boy Lance trying to put a race. Hey, that boy Lance trying to put a racetrack out of business, boy.
Man, listen.
Hey, I seen that little commercial.
You saw it, man.
I saw it. Hey, look, I was waiting for the lady to beat Jit for spending all her money, spending all her food stamp cards, bro. Yeah, he brought everybody peanuts. I said she gonna whoop his ass.
Hey, but nah, honestly though, that was based on a true story. That was like me growing up. Like, if y'all see that field, that's where I grew up at, out of the projects called Hamilton Gone. And that field right there, that's where we always played football. And behind that building, that's where we lived at. So every time I used to play football, when we get done, I used to go ask my mama, hey, Mom, give me some money to go so I can go to the store. She gave me that motherfucking food stamp. You know, she give them brown food stamp, that $1 one. Give me them a food stamp and run my ass to the store and get me some snacks. So that was really based on a true story.
She ain't never whoop your ass and spend all her money? Because I'm like, Jit don't supply the whole neighborhood, bro. He in trouble.
He brought everybody with that EBT card. It was food stamps, though.
Everybody run it, though. Food, you know, them yamps, they don't care. You don't care about them yamps. Yeah.
All right, bro, man, we appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, listen, man, since you in here, man, because you don't never tell none of them epic stories, dog. Since you in here, dog, when you first got to right? Me and you sat down, you talked about this. You went out partying the first night, man, and you had practice the next day, right?
Yep.
Tell that story, bro. Tell that story real
quick. Man, listen, so look, my first time when I first got to UM, when I graduated, I only stayed home for like a week, and I went straight down there for the summertime. I was trying to compete so I could play. So man, the night, it was Friday night, boy, we went to in the Grove, went to a club called Banana Joe's. If you ask, if you in the Grove around that time, you know what I'm talking about, Banana Joe's. Man, we went in that bitch. I'll never forget. That's when they introduced me to that chunky cone. That shit.
Chunky cone, Eric.
Hey, chunky cone. They get to do that chunky. I like cone, but I don't like it chunky. So, man, we had 7:07 the next morning. We usually have 7:07 about 7:30, 8 o'clock that morning. Bruh, I'm lined up out in the I'm half asleep. They told me to go in. I'm half asleep. And motherfucker, I got entry and roll in front of my ass. Man, man, that boy jammed my ass. Hey, boy, he woke me up. That bitch ain't jammed me, no. And he'll tell you, and Trail ain't, that was his first time and last time ever jammed me. I said, that shit will never happen again. But I woke up off that shit right there, boy.
Only at you, that motherfucker said, guess who's in front of me?
Guess who's in front of me? But Trail roll, first rounder. But the thing is just, man, I had a doubt. That's what I love, man, when you go to Miami. Like, man, if you learn how to just embrace that city and learn how to move in that city, you can last enough. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you come from the country, yeah, wow, but that shit go suck your ass in. It's gonna suck you. I saw it suck some people in. A lot of players. I saw it suck a lot of players in. But if a lot of players just go down there and be focused and then network. Like I said, I'm gonna always go back to my situation. I don't talk about nobody else's situation. Like me going to the University of Miami, like I networked when I was down there, and look how it's benefiting my business. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of kids, they just got to look at it a certain type way.
Gotcha.
And then, like I tell you, Street, name a motherfucker hurricane. And I tell all of them, name one hurricane ever did some shit like this. None. I'm the only one. They ain't never do no shit like this.
No, you got something good going on, man. I tell you every time, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man. You definitely, like I say, Street helped me. He helped me out pubbing. The man told a lot of people about it for me, so I appreciate that, what y'all did, football field and all that.
We're going to make it up there, man. We got to come holler at you and get some more video on old Kamani McClain.
Oh, what? Y'all don't know about money. You better get to know about him, but y'all should know about him. If you don't, something wrong with you. You don't know about it. If you don't know about Kamani, you don't know about Hurricane football.
Check this out, man. So you played with old Devin Hester, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ask everybody up here, man. I'm gonna start with our two members, man. Our two members who ain't said nothing in a while. Devin Hester, man. Y'all felt Devin Hester should have been first ballot?
Of course. Man, listen, whoever be coming up with that stupid ass shit, I tell them, I don't know Hall of Fame, but whoever, come on, there's just some guys like who should be first ballot. Like how T.O. didn't make it first ballot. You see what I'm saying? Like stupid stuff. How Andre Johnson ain't make first ballot? It's just someone you just know supposed to be in there. Why play around and wait for him? I'm gonna use for example, like he old, but he ended up passing away. He from my hometown, like Ken Riley. Ken Riley got he in the top 5 in interceptions in the league. Still to this day, he got the most interceptions. This man ain't even make it to the Hall of Fame. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of stuff. I think they wait too long. They be playing around.
Right.
Yeah,
Kyle,
they do that. They to last point. I mean, obviously, yeah, Devin should be, man. That shit shouldn't have been no question. He a man in the class by himself, bro. Like people can say, oh, special teams, whoop the whoop. Okay, cool, but he in the class by himself, so he should have damn sure been the first special teamer to get in there off his first rip. But I actually heard a reporter, a writer, I should say, with Hall of Fame votes say, I forgot who it was, but somebody didn't get in, and he was like, yeah, it was his first time. He's gonna get in eventually. So it's just like, it really didn't make a difference. But such and such has been waiting, yada 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 yada. And I'm like, that's why they shouldn't have no votes, because that shit don't make no sense to sit there.
That's Kyle. That's Kyle phone. Y'all heard the same?
I don't know. That boy went out, boy. Got that. Get that Metro over there fixed, boy. That Wi-Fi fixed, boy.
Y'all heard the same thing I heard? Matty, what you think about? What you think about Devin Hester?
Let's talk about it, right? So if everybody knows, 3 phases to the game. We always talk about defense wins championships, but explain to me how, was it 2 seasons ago, maybe 3, they had the 150th anniversary anniversary of football, whatever, and they picking all these players. And a couple of Hurricanes obviously in there every. You mean tell me Devin Hester was identified as one of the greatest returners of all time, top 150 players in the history of all these people that came through the league. Tell me that coaches who have literally gone on record and said that we had to change our entire game plan, and this man was sitting back there because we knew that we knew if there was a possibility that if we kicked the ball to him, he gonna return and they could change the outcome of the game. I'm a New York Giants fan. I watched this man catch a missed field goal in the back of the end zone, casually walk out like he was gonna return and take that shit to the crib for the longest punt field goal kick miss of all time. Like when we talk about game changers, and we talk about that's who's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame. We can't sit here and say if we respect the phase of special teams, we can't sit here and say, you know what, Devin Hester is quite possible. He is statistically the greatest return man of all time. And say when it's his turn to come in, all these modern coaches that you pretty much had to change your game plan when he was in, suddenly we got to say, nah, he maybe next year. That just don't make.
But that's the problem because the voters are rioters, people that don't even play the game. That's the silliest part of it. Like Devin was like, bro, Devin was like Barry Bonds. The same way you don't pitch to Barry Bonds, you didn't kick to Devin Hester, bro. That's unheard of in football. You might have a game where it's like, hey, look, Dante Hall on return 2, we ain't gonna kick him to this game, but the next week somebody else gonna kick to him. Devin was like that every week. Like, man, we let's try to kick away from this nigga, but you couldn't.
Yeah. And the one time it was like we on the grandest stage. Man, he ain't gonna return that shit on the first kick. What'd he do? In Miami, back home, you know what I'm saying? In front of hundreds of thousands of people, the man taking home the only person in history to do it. You telling me, you know what? Nah, man, I don't know. I agree, Kyle, that whole right. But I feel like that about a lot of things. I feel like writers shouldn't be determined in the AP poll because I think they all dumbasses for that. I think writers shouldn't be determined a lot of things, but for some reason, we use them as the end all be all for determining what greatness look like. But I mean, I don't know, that's me. But
I think they need to do something about that committee, bro. Just period. In sports, period. The whole committee need to be revamped. I don't know how you would start a fuss about that, but that shit is a joke. Go ahead, Lance. My bad.
Oh no, y'all Gucci, man. I just, I asked some off the wall shit. What y'all boy eating tonight over there, man? Shit. What y'all boys over there eating? I had me some motherfucking hibachi.
and boy, you get off them peanut sales, huh?
Yeah, man.
You get off them
peanut sales. Oh shit. Why not? Support. Why?
Oh, hey, you know what? Look, since you brought up food, let me ask you a question. Like you hear the kids talking about, and I know it's a different game now, but you hear the kids talking about their nutrition program. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What was y'all's like, or did y'all have anything that really concentrated that much on nutrition, or were they just trying to make sure y'all ate and exercised?
Hell no, man. When I was there, we ain't had a motherfucking meal plan. Get your ass to that cafeteria. Goddamn it, take your ass, go eat off campus. Eating at UC. When you had no meal prayer, you saw skin in my ass. Hell no. I ain't get weight until I got out and learned how to work out how I know how to work out myself.
Mm-hmm. So look, as a person that used to train people, you had your little speed camp and everything. Was you up to date on, like, because this, to me, this shit new for all of us. All of us at a certain age. All this, eating different, so your body can, whatever. It's kind of new to all of us. So, like, when you was training, or when you was training other athletes, was that something that you was trying to put into their head, or is that something that you knew about?
Well, like me, I really ain't focus on they eating habits. They kids, man. Them motherfuckers gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? I just really focus on how they technique. That was my main thing.
Yeah.
Focus on the technique, but the eating habits,